out, have your name on it. Like I said, this is one of the most important we do all year, so I can at least, I wanna look through it, and me and Mr. Sher will look through it. I'll confess it didn't show his work like he needs to. So that we can figure that out. Oh. That one, right, is yours? Do you have,
Yes.
yeah, with you? Right, okay, just let me have that for now. Yeah, how we doing? Good? You don't get to do the retake of that. I didn't do it. I really do. All right, let's talk about this. And this was initially intended as practice. She's supposed to help you with it for practice, but then do it on your own or the retake. Mr. Stern, you wanna, there's a couple of equations on there. I was gonna move it down and I forgot. How'd you guys do? You'll probably. Okay. Yeah, go ahead and put check. Come right back, okay? There you go. -5 times K.
Yes. You would just multiply the denominator if you had a very long one. You flip it and you use that one to rack.
No, you wouldn't flip it because the big one would help.
So you have to
Yeah. Don't. Yeah. Essentially, divide halves. If we divide them, we have 2.5. We still divide.
I'll put these on my desk. I'll hand out the guided notes. Oh, you want to grab? Yeah.
Is this the new one?
Yep, the one underneath, I think, that's the new chart. Yep, and then I'll flip with you when you're done with that. That's all right.
With the bell work?
Yeah.
Okay.
I need to hit those again because I can figure it out.
Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's go over these together. First one, number 37, I have 5 halves K equals 5. All right, Connor, you want to walk me through it?
Yeah, so you're gonna flip the fraction 5 over 2 to 2 over 5, and you're gonna put it in parentheses on the side.
Okay, so if I put 2 over 5 right here, you see that all right? Put it in parentheses, and essentially, again, what that does is it makes this 1, it turns it into 1, so I have 1K, but I don't need to write the K, or the 1, okay? So if I do that over here, what do I gotta do over here, Connor?
You're gonna do the same thing.
I do the same thing, okay? And that thing was multiply it by 2/5, okay? So if I multiply 5 times 2/5, what do I end up with?
You get 2 K equals 2.
Good, K equals 2, okay? And real quick, just the way that looks means 5 over 1 times 2 over 5. When I multiply fractions, I multiply straight across, so I get 10 over 5, which is 2. All right, that's where that comes from. Okay? All right, very good, Connor. Christian, go ahead and walk me through the next one.
So first thing we're gonna do is we're flip the fraction to 4/3.
Okay,
4 over 3.
real fast, I just want to emphasize this point. No, you're correct. Okay? Make sure whenever, no matter what operation we're working with, we always want to work on the side where the variable is. Okay? So just because the variable is on the left here, I worked on the left side. The variable's on the right here, I want to work with this fraction, 3/4. Like Christian told me to do, I'm going to flip it. Okay? So I multiply it by 4/3. Okay? These cancel out. I'm left with, sorry, go ahead, Christian, what do I got to do next?
And then move to the other side to multiply it by 4/3.
Good, I'm going to multiply this side now by 4/3. Okay? So when I get 4/3 times -9, what do I end up with? negative 12. All right, so negative 12 equals D, and I want to write that like this. All right, D equals negative 12. Questions about that one? And number 39, Zach, go ahead.
So first you would flip the negative 5/8 to be negative 8/5.
Good. Okay. Quick point about that. Since this is a negative, I want to multiply it by a negative because that's going to give me that positive 1 that I'm looking for. Okay. So it's negative 8 fifths. That cancels out. What do I got to do over here, Zach?
Multiply 10 by negative 8/5.
Okay. So what do I end up with there?
Negative 16.
Negative 16. All right. That sounds right to me. Very good. Okay. Question?
I'm confused on how you check your answer.
Okay, good question. If I want to check this, in your calculator, what I would do is punch it in like this. Here. So in that last one, I start out with that original equation, and I would punch it in with parentheses. Anytime I use a fraction, just hit the division button. So you do parentheses, negative 5 divided by 8. That's my fraction. Okay? And then I'm going to multiply it. So the multiplication button times negative 16. I'll type in negative 16. And then I hit enter, and that should give me 10. Okay. Is that what you got?
Yep.
Okay. Perfect. All right.
It's a great
Good
skill
work.
to learn how to check your work, just to make sure you're correct for that.
All right. We got guided notes passed out.
Yep, guy notes passed out.
All right. We're going to check this.
I'll just show them a couple things.
Okay.
Teachers and students, please excuse this interruption. As we reflect on the events that occurred beginning at 8:46 a.m. 19 years ago today, I would like all staff and students to join me in a moment of silence as we remember those who lost their lives on September 11, 2001. While we pay tribute to those brave men and women who did not survive that infamous day from 19 years ago, let us also pay tribute to the thousands of men and women who are still protecting and serving us in the military, as well as all first responders, and those who have dedicated their lives as members of our fire and police forces. I would suggest that students and staff would find the best way to honor their memory might be to take a moment or two today and every day to do an act of kindness for someone who crosses your path. Have a great day.
Hard to believe you guys weren't born then. I was in the cafeteria doing lunch duty. It's September 11th.
I was in American history class.
In Green High School.
Mm-hmm.
Did you guys hear about it?
Yeah. One of the office workers walked in, one of the kids walked in and was like, "You guys don't have the TV on?" We were like, "Why would we have the TV on?"
Oh, goodness.
And then we watched the second plane hit.
Oh, you saw it live?
Yeah.
Oh, geez. No, I didn't see that live.
Crazy.
Yeah. Wild stuff. Wild day.
I can get to look at some of that stuff in world studies today. Hey, I know we collected your homework, but just a couple comments here. Like I said, this is pretty important homework. Make sure you show it, we're just checking your steps, but don't forget to distribute first. And I talked to a few of you, but I just want to do it to everybody. When you distribute, like -2 times x is -2x, -2 times 5 is -10. You want to write everything with one sign. You don't want to have like a minus a negative or a plus a negative within your work. We want to move past that. We want to create it so that whatever the answer is, that positive or negative becomes our plus or minus. Okay, so if we're down here on 24, -5 times v is -5v. A -5 times a -5 is a positive 25. So just make that plus, that positive be your plus sign. All Alright, so that's kind of one thing that we see a little bit at this point. We want to move past double signs, so, because now that tells me this is a plus, I know I need to subtract on both sides. Okay? We're gonna look at your homework just a little bit more closely. We are scheduled to have a quiz Tuesday, the 15th. So we're gonna go over this today, kind of review some things on Monday, and then quiz on Tuesday. It'll be 40 points. So I need to take a look and see where your grades are and where you're at with everything, because we're getting close to the interims. And believe it or not, this is the end of the third week. So before you know it, we'll be at the end of the 9 weeks. It kind of sneaks up quicker than I remember. All right, on your guided notes, go ahead. Let's do the first one. We're going to do a couple. That's just from yesterday, just to kind of recall what's going on. Preston, take a look at this one. Would you be able to tell me what to do? What would be my first step?
Add 13 to 13.
Yep, we're going to add 13, and we're going to add it to both sides. And you want to put that line underneath it. That's probably the one thing. And if it gets to the point, if you don't do, I'm going to have to start taking off, because you're not at the point yet where you can just kind of go and do your own steps. You need to kind of follow these till we get a little bit more comfortable, or till I get more comfortable with what you can do. Okay, this is for me and Mr. Schlur, so we follow that. All right, so that gives me 4x equals -5 plus 13. Use your calculator if need be. If you know you're kind of weak on your positives and negatives, make sure you use that. Divide by 4. Divide by 4. And then to show you the division, you show that fraction bar, and that gives me x equals +2. All of these are checkable. You just substitute it in and see what you get. And let me see, where's my calculator? Oh, there it comes. And so you can check it with your calculator, and you can also check it with, by writing it out. So it's 4 times 2 minus 13, and if we're right, that's got to equal -5. So I know I'm right. All right, that second one, -43 equals -2d plus 17. Okay, line down the middle. Christian, what do you say?
Subtract 17 from each side.
Good, subtract 17. And I'm gonna make that a -17. All right, tell me what to write from left to right. Okay, Grant.
-60 equals -2d.
Good, -60 equals, make sure that negative comes down with that 2. It has to. All right, now Allie, what do I need to do from here? Divide by what? Good, divide by -2. All right, now that gives me +30 equals d, and I always want to flip it around and put d equals 30 at the end for that one. All right, this part isn't obvious on this case, so I'm going to check it over here. I'm going to check it, and I got -43 equals -2 times 30 plus 17. -2 times 30 is -60. -60 plus 17, -43. All right, so I know I got it right. All right, now this third one, this is one that creeps up with this -x that will cause problems. Connor, what do you say first step?
Subtract 14 from both sides.
Good, subtract 14. This 14 is a positive. There's no plus written in front of it. They don't have to write it. It's assumed to be positive. Do not think that this minus sign goes with that 14. It doesn't. All right, Connor, tell me what to write now.
It's going to be -x equals 2.
Good. -x equals 2 for that one. All right, so last step. Okay, Grant?
Divide both sides by -1.
Divide both sides by -1. Good. You have to do this. And then that basically flips the answer. So instead of +2, it's -2. Because if you got me an answer of +2, 14 minus 2 is 12. It's not 16. It has to be minus a negative there. So you gotta be careful there. So it's 14 minus -2. All right, good. Those are just kind of boom, hitting from yesterday. All right, fractions. All right, Zachary.
First, we would add 1/3 to both sides.
Okay, I'm gonna have you do something different. Okay, you can do that and that might work, but I'm gonna try and do something different. Because, do you like fractions?
Yeah.
I got a few yeahs, but a lot of, I don't like fractions. So here's what we're gonna do. We're actually gonna get rid of the fractions. Okay? We're gonna get rid of the fractions whenever we have them to make life easier. Now, how do we get rid of them? Here's what you do. Take a look at all your denominators. And we got a 5 and we got a 3. I want the least common denominator. To get that, you multiply any denominators together.
15.
15. 5 times 3 is 15. Take your least common denominator, which is 15. And we are going to multiply each piece of the equation by 15. So what is 15 times 1/5? Okay, if you do this right, it'll give you a whole number. 15 times 1/5 is 3. So this becomes 3n minus, what's 15 times 1/3? 5. And what's 15 times 8/3? 40. Okay. So now, I got any fractions? No. So it's nice. Now, you can use your calculator, but here. You see what's going on. If I take 15 times 8/3, there's a little trick to do this, and I just want to show it to you. You don't have to do it this way, but 3 will go into 15 how many times? 5. So that'll cancel and give you 1. That'll give you 5. You multiply 5 times 8, it gives you 40 over 1, which is just 40. So you should be able to do this mentally. 5 goes into 15 3 times. 3 times 1 is 3. 3 goes into 15 5 times. 5 times 1 is 5. You can always use your calculator. Add 5 now. Add 5. And I get 3n equals 45. Divide by 3. N equals 15. Okay. So I want to get rid of my fractions. Okay, so look at that next one. What can I multiply by to get rid of my fractions? Okay, you want the smallest number all of these will go into. What do you got, Joe? 16. I can actually do a number smaller. 16 will work. 16 will work, but I'm going to go with the smallest number. Sam? 8. Because 8 will actually go into 8. So 8 is divisible by 8. 2 will go into 8. 4 will go into 8. So I'm going to multiply everything by 8. So 8, 8, 8. All right, what's 8 times 3/4? Use your calculator if you need to. Okay. What you got there, Jalen?
6.
6. So don't forget now it's 6m. 6m. 4 goes into 8 twice. 2 times 3 is 6. All right, now don't overcomplicate things. What's a half of 8? 4. So the next one's 4. And 7/8 of 8. Some of you might know that one. Colin? Oh, no.
What? 7 times 8.
7 times 8 is 56. Okay.
Right.
And then it's going to be 7. 7. All right. Now, once I have those eliminated, I don't have any more fractions. Not a fan of fractions. If I can get rid of them, I will. Now, some of you saying, well, can I subtract a half? Yeah, you can do that, but I'm going to go with this route here. Subtract 4. 6m equals 7 minus 4 is 3. All right, what do you think with that answer is? Go ahead and put that down. It's going to be, I would say this would be a little bit easier for harder problems. We're going to do that. Okay. All right, Amanda, what do you think?
Divide by
-6 on each side.
Okay? And final answer?
0.5.
Okay, you did it on your calculator, it's 0.5 or 1/2. Either way. Sometimes we want to leave it as a fraction. Well, 3/6 reduces to 1/2. But if you put 0.5, that's okay. Okay, 0.5 is okay. All right, now, those are fractions. Okay, those are fractions. All right, now, that problem we did at the beginning of class, we're going to start moving out so that we can do a little bit harder ones and simple, so we can end up doing that one. First type is when there's more than one thing on a side. We want to, your rule is you want to simplify everything on each side before you move anything left or right. So take a look at that problem. Now that H is just going to stay that H. What can be combined together on that left side? Okay, Christian?
2A plus 8A.
The 2A, and what does that give us?
10A.
No, where are you getting plus 8?
It gives us -6A.
Yep, and like I said, if you need to, 2 minus 8. It's going to give you -6. Now that negative will become that sign, so make it -6A plus 3. Now when you combine like terms, you just write the next step below. Okay, if you want to highlight those two terms, that's fine, but you just write the step below. All right, now from here, London, what do you think?
You subtract the 3.
Good. Put -3 on both sides, -3. Tell me what to write at this point. Tell me what to write, Josh.
-6A equals 5.
-6A equals 5. All right, good. Now divide by -6. Divide by -6. All right, now, if you're calculating, divide on there, what did your calculator say? Exactly.
I think it's really one decimal, I'm not gonna say that.
Is it 0.83 repeating? Okay. Negative. Okay, now when you have that long decimal that repeats, we want to leave the answer as a fraction. Okay, you divided 5 by 6, just write that down as your answer. And since it's a positive divided by negative, move the negative to the side of it. So A equals -5/6. Okay, A equals -5/6. So you're going to come across a few like that. It's okay, like if your decimal's like 0.5 and it's what we call a terminating decimal, you can write that as an answer. But if it's just one that keeps going, you want to be careful on that. All right, we're going to keep getting a little bit more complex here. So you got this -2 in front of the parentheses. We want to just put, I'm going to put a line down here. I'm going to distribute that. All right, now be careful on this one here. Morgan.
You distribute -2 to 3 and you get -6.
Okay?
And then -2b.
Not -2 because you got a -2 times a -b, and a negative times a negative is always positive. So since it's positive, make this plus 2d, bring down your plus 5 equals 11. So when we distribute, we just rewrite it. Okay, Colin?
Well, then you do the +5 and -6, put them together. And you
Okay.
get -1.
Good. -6 plus 5. Now, I always like to write the term with the variable first. I'm going to put 2d minus 1 equals 11. So we don't move anything until that whole side is simplified. Colin?
Then you do +1 on both sides.
Yep. Add 1. Add 1. I get 2d equals 12. Divide by 2. And it looks like I get d equals, whoops, hold on. D equals 6 for my answer. Now, how do you check it? Plug it in. I can do a real quick check. What is 3 minus 6? 3 minus 6 is 3? Not 3.
Or no, -3.
-3. What's -2 times -3? Negative times a negative is a
+6.
+6, and 6 plus 5 gives me 11. All right, good. All right, I'll do the first step and then I'm gonna let you finish this. Because you have a parentheses and we have a minus sign in front of it. We said anytime this happens, think of this as a -1. Think of that as a -1. And we're gonna distribute that -1 to both of those. So what happens? Gives me 4y. -1 times 9 is -9, so just make it -9. Your negative, the sign of the number becomes your operation, your plus or your minus. What's -1 times -2y? -1 times -2, positive 2y. All right, see what you come up with. See what you come up with.
Mr. Diaz, you'll never guess what they messed up on this.
What?
Positives and negatives.
Positive and negative? Just not using their calculator?
I guess so, yeah. Just not bringing the negative sign down with the previous step.
Oh, so it's like 5 minus 2y equals something. They didn't bring down the minus 2y.
Yeah, or like just one, like add 20 and have like
Hey, what do you
Really good.
Wow.
Like,
Thanks for.
I just wanted to make sure I didn't look up.
We're gonna come back. We're gonna 4y plus 2y, get 6y there.
I'm gonna say it how it's spelled.
I learned with these songs. I just put 4 chords. Just 4 chords. Like 5 moves. Right in the the whole time. Robert in the middle. Then you goes down to E minor. Up to G major. Down to G major. 4 chords. I bet it's painful.
I bet it's painful to 10. Preston, what'd you get? 10?
And then one
You're getting the right answer, but you're kind of like all over the place. One thing we're doing is we're the lines in there, yeah, and then we don't do divided by, I want you to do it like that. I want you to do that line, okay? Because that's when we get bigger, longer problems, you gotta have it like organized, okay? All right, hey, Answer's 10, which most of you that I looked at got, but they're here. 4y plus 2y is 6y minus 9 equals 51. I'm going to add 9, and I get 6y equals 51 plus 9 is 60. Divide by 6. Y equals 10. Okay, y equals 10 for that. All right, now flip it over on the back. Flip it over on the back. Got some special cases for some special people. Okay? You guys are special. You need to be able to take a verbal equation, a verbal sentence, and make an equation out of it. So you take a look in here. Now this less than's coming up again because I'm going to throw it at you because this is the one that people miss the most. 3 less than 4 times a number equals 37. Well, hold on here. Don't get too far ahead because we talked about 3 less than 10 is what? 3 less than 10. You know the answer. 3 less than 10 is what? It's 7, right? And then how do I get 7? You got to do 10 minus 3. This is when it's less than. You flip the order. Flip the order. So 3 less than 4 times a number. Well, 4 times a number is like 4x. How am I going to flip that order? It's going to be 4x minus 3 equals is always an equal sign, 37. So you got to write that. So put that step down now. 4x minus 3 equals 37. Add 3 to both sides. Okay, so now I got the equation. Now I got the equation. I get 4x equals 40. Divide by 4. I get 10 again. Coincidence. But if you do 3 minus 4x, it's going to be incorrect. Okay, 4x minus 3. So 3 less than 4 times the number. Well, 4 times 10 is 40. 3 less than that is 37. That makes sense. So you got to be able to take a word sentence and make it into an equation. Now this one here, for whatever reason, it can throw you off. But pay attention here. It says if 2m plus 5 equals negative 7, find the value of 4m. Well, we have to find m first and then substitute it into here. So think about it. Put it over here on the side. I want you to put m equals, and then I want you to put 4m equals. Okay, because those are 2 different values. They're not going to be the same. And you don't substitute the 4m in anywhere. We don't even mess with that. We solve this equation. We solve 2m plus 5 equals negative 7. 2m plus 5 equals negative 7. All right, Christian, what do I do?
The line on, okay, and then subtract 5 on both sides,
Okay.
and then you get negative 12. And then divide each side by 2,
Okay.
you get negative 6.
All right, so at this point here, m equals negative 6. This point here, m equals negative 6. But that's not the answer to the problem. Colin?
Then you multiply negative 6 by 4.
You multiply negative 6 by 4, and that's going to give us negative 24. That is what we're looking for. That is what we're looking for. Okay? All right, this last one here. Throwing a triangle at you. Okay, throwing a triangle at you. You got it in the corner. I had to write it below there. What do I do with this, Zachary?
So all triangles add up to 180 degrees.
The 3 angles of a triangle have to 180,
I
okay?
added 80 plus 42 plus 22 to get 144.
Okay.
Subtracted 180 minus 144 to get 36. And divided 36 by 4 to get 9.
All right, well, good. Here's what I'm going to, he did a lot. He kind of did a lot in there, but think about it this way. Take each angle. The first angle is 4x plus 22. The other angle is 80. The other angle is 42. And all of those added together have to give us what? 180. 3 angles of a triangle add up to 180. we'll go back to what we just did. We have like terms. I got a 42, I got an 80, and a 22. He added them all up. What you want to do, add them all up to get, what'd you say?
144.
144. Let me actually move this down if you don't mind here. And that's 1. So he said 144. So 4x plus 144 equals 180. Well, we're going to solve it like we do an equation. We're going to subtract 144. Subtract 144. And I get 4x equals, I believe we said 36. Divide by 4. Divide by 4. X equals 9. X equals 9. All right, now, we went through a lot here. Page 96. Should we make this a double sign?
I'd say probably no. I don't know if they're doing it.
Maybe they will. We're making this a double assignment. You're gonna have assignments over the weekend. You gotta learn to do them. This will count 20 points. This will count 20 points to do it. There's 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 11 problems.
You guys can do that.
That's not bad. So 20-point assignment.
Okay, so you add up, so put 4x plus 1 plus 80 plus 80.
Did you get those grades?
Add them all together.
I put them on the sheet. I didn't get it. Yeah. I don't know if you want to look at it.
Yeah, go ahead and keep them. I'll look at them. That's probably a good idea.
Okay. I only did it, but I checked the back.
Okay, well, that's probably enough.
But it was a lot of